We are in a recession, and I'm here to help. I'm the Headless Headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resume. The resumes we have up the resume we have up first is a Java full stack developer. So what we're going to be looking for in a Java full stack developer is this stuff up here. Let me change it for Java specifically. So TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CD, cross-functionally, Java, and bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. This person says they have not landed a single interview, so let's see if I can't find what I need in 20 seconds, which is how long recruiters actually have to decide if they are going to meet you or yeet your resume into the trash. So since they have not had a single interview, I'm expecting to not find what I need. And go. All right, nothing here matters. All right. Boosted front end. Well, I don't care about boosted. React is actually solid. HTML, CSS, but you titled it CSS3. They may not know that. And JavaScript. RESTful APIs is okay. PostgreSQL, implementing, and CI/CD. That is not enough to move forward. So, couple of things here, right? One, they may be an international or not. Which is definitely going to tank your chances. Two, I am an experienced tech recruiter. I know people may not believe that, but yeah, this is tough to read. It actually is probable that most recruiters would not be able to, well, most non-tech recruiters, which would not be able to actually read this, which is not good. You want your resume to be, well, read by every single person, because it's highly probable that the person reviewing your resume is not a tech recruiter, or even if they are, they don't have enough experience in this. And even with that, I still did not find enough stuff that I needed. So I cannot scroll down from this page because they dox themselves. Stop putting your phone number in when you submit these to me. I do not need them, nor your email or your full name. Please do not do that. So here's part of the problems. First, this is a nightmare of a formatting. This is just a bunch of blobs, all right? This is so difficult to read. You want your resume to look like this. This is boring. This is basic. This is easy to read because, as you can tell, I only got down to here because of how difficult this was to read in 20 seconds, which again is all the time we have. We cannot give your resume more than 20 seconds. So, how do you fix this? First off, remove a bunch of unnecessary. Actually, first off, I want you to highlight all of this and then hit Control B twice. This will unbold everything. Nothing here should be bolded. Then I'm going to need you to delete this and delete this because neither of these are helping your application. They are completely ignored. I do not know why everybody tells candidates to write this stuff. This is not helpful at all. And then below that is your education. So your education should be up here. This is where your education should be. And again, it shouldn't be bolded. And as you've gotten your degree in aeronautical stuff, I don't think you need your bachelor's, but you should keep your master's of science. So that's one, formatting. That would just immediately make it so that I could get further on. Then to the actual bullet points. So I don't care about boosted front-end performance by 35%. That means nothing to me. Everybody needs to stop making percentages. If you're a director or in sales, you can add a bunch of percentages on your resume. That actually makes sense given the context of what you do. But not for software engineers. I do not need to see that you boosted performance by 35% by using a Rube Goldberg's flopple bloop. All right? It doesn't matter. Then you go down to here where it says React, JS, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is not actually bad. The real fix for this, though, is you don't want to put HTML5, you don't want to put CSS3, and you don't want to put ES6 plus JavaScript, because the person reviewing your resume may not know that those are different things, or even know that they are the same thing is what I basically should have said. So don't put HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript, whatever. Just put JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. All right? So that's part of the front end. Then we go to React. Again, that's actually good to have. RESTful APIs with Java, Spring Boot. Actually really good the way you wrote that. And SQL. Implementing JW2 authentic. I don't care about that. You just need to say design and secured RESTful APIs with Java, Spring Boot, and PostSQL for our secure user access or whatever. Then we go down to here, which again actually is your best sentence. Again, it should not be bolded, but it is your best sentence. And then here, oh look, I missed Agile. Agile is actually something I'd be looking for. I missed it because it was so hard to read your resume. Don't know if I care about Jira or Confluence though, nor improving sprint velocity by 20 per. What is that? What is that? What does that mean? It's not something I would be looking for. Then we go down to here. This is okay. Again, I don't care about percentages. And then there's nothing else here. So where is the SQL? So let's go through and assume, okay, let's delete what we have, because you need about 75% to go. So you did have React, which was good. Then we did have JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. We did have Java, that's good, along with Spring Boot, which can be a bonus. Then I did see RESTful APIs somewhere. It's so hard for me to read this resume. There it is, RESTful APIs. Okay, good. Not regular APIs. I don't see any cloud. That's actually a big deal breaker. A lot of people want cloud. I did see CI/CD. Did not see cross-functional. Did not see SQL. Did not see Node or Angular or Next.js or GraphQL. So yeah, you have about 50% of what we need to move you forward, and you need about 75%. So it's not like this is the worst resume ever. I don't want to say like, garbage resume, destroy it. But it's you're missing about 50% of what we need. So again, you need about, I'd say if you had SQL and cloud, it would be better. And oh, there it is, Agile, which again, I missed the first time because of your bolding. So if you had TypeScript, if you had SQL Cloud, and then one of whatever of these are from this section of the list, the second one, you would probably be getting more interviews. But no one's going to be able to read it because, again, this is a nightmare of a formatting. This is, every single resume looks like this, and this is why a lot of resumes get declined, is we can barely read past the first job, if even that, and then you write stuff like HTML5 and CSS3 instead of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So I'm not trying to pick on you because I know if you are an international student, your rate is going to be extra low ever since the changes in the government, which is absolutely brutal. I truly don't know how people are going to be able to get a visa at this rate, which is an entirely different topic, probably for a different channel. But this resume would not pass even if you were a U.S. citizen or green card holder. So it just does not have enough for me to move you forward. It is too difficult to read in the 20 seconds that we have, and it just does not show that you're qualified, right? Like, candidates think that this means they're qualified, right? The 35%, the 20%, that doesn't. What I'm really just looking for is well, this, right? Automated deployments through CI/CD pipelines, GitHub Actions, improving release cycle efficiency. That's it. That's all I'm really looking for. I don't even need the efficiency, just, improving our release cycles, whatever those are. So that's part of this problem. It's just not a good resume. But that's all I can do for this one. Before we go to the next resume, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. So what we're looking for in a data analyst is your degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, such as Tableau, Power BI, or Looker. You don't need all of those, just like one of those. Stakeholders and explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. This is huge. This is what almost everybody forgets to put in. And then how you solved a problem with the data, not what the data is, okay? This is also another big thing is we don't really care how you got the answer. We just care what the answer is. MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, and other stuff of MS Office. Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines, and a bonus for cloud. So can I find it? Let's find out. Okay, SQL, good. Python, that's 2. Dashboards, there we go, 4, 5. And I think that's it. That's all I found was 5. So this does not work, right? It's not bad. But let me see what this person stated. I assume they have not gotten anything. Yeah, over 150. So how you can tell if your resume is good is your application ratio, which is for every 50 applications you send, you should be getting at least one interview. That is like the bare minimum. Ideally, it'll be like 1 in 20, but a bare minimum is going to be 1 in 50. So this the fact that this is 150 applications plus to 1, that's really bad. So please answer on Streamer Shorts. Recruiters scan resumes quickly for keywords, not keywords, qualifications. There is a big difference there. Then why does everyone say you need to put accomplishments in bullet points like increased efficiency by 34% or automated hours of workday by blah? I have no idea why they say that. It's not good advice. I think what they're trying to say is make sure your accomplishments are understandable, but they're not explaining it right, because it's not that we care about the accomplishments. It's that we care that it shows how it was done and the reason and result it's done. And sometimes the reason and result and how it's done is an accomplishment, but not always. And I feel like either they don't know what they're talking about, or alternatively, they're describing it wrong, where they're saying you need the crazy accomplishments, but it's not that. It's we need to know how you did it and the reason and results of doing it. That's the big thing. That's why they are qualifications, not keywords. Because if it was keywords, I could just say SQL, right? Boom, done. That's it, SQL. I could just Control F, and an AI could do this. But their AI scanning and stuff is actually really bad at this. The tech is not there yet. That's why most recruiters don't use it. That they've tried it out before and they went, oh, this is getting me less candidates that are less qualified than if I did it by hand, which is not the point of it. So they're either wrong or explaining it poorly. So, that's why they're telling you to write 34% or hours saved or whatever, is because they assume that's what we want, but that's not quite what we want. So, but what did I find? Let's see. So, I did not find your degree. That's bad. Again, they may not get down here. It's possible they do, but you want your degree up at the top, because it is important. I did not actually see a financial market. Okay. So, this is a bit of too big of a sentence, right? And you kind of had the problem of you repeated the same qualification in the same job. So as an example, this SQL and this SQL are not needed. One of those is needed, not both. But this SQL and this SQL is good. So you want to have the same qualifications in multiple jobs, but you don't want to have the same qualifications multiple times in the same job. So that's part of it. But let's see what I did find. We found SQL. I did find data visualization, so that's good. Did not find anything about stakeholders explaining technical concepts. Did not find what you use the data for. Did find MS Excel and Word. Did find Python. And that might count, maybe. So yeah, that's kind of the problem, is I'm missing the non-tech stuff. Right? Like, even though you are in tech, right? Even though this is STEM, you still need to show how you can work with others. But you can't just say, explain X to Y. You have to show how. And designing and deploying dashboards is good. I like this. But it doesn't tell me how you explain this stuff. Because the CEO of the company, probably we're not going to directly meet the CEO unless it's a startup. But assuming the CEO came to you and said, hey, our product sales are down. Why, right? They don't want you to say, well, I've done a flip-flop of the data using a hypotenuse to flip around and it made 35% faster, validating 200,000% daily market indices, which allowed 50 SOP plus in Confluence, which standardized the process. What they want you to say is, I ran the data, and when we put red paint on our product, profits go down compared to blue paint. That's what they want. They don't really care how you did it. They just care how you used it. So, and you have to explain that in simple terms to the CEO, who may not know how to open an email. They may have an assistant for that. So that is part of the reason that I am not able to find it. Plus, this is pretty long, and I think maybe the format's a little off. Yeah, I feel like the formatting's a little off. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks a little off. It's either too small or the wrong font. but that's a part of an issue. So the big issue is just you did not show me how you collaborated with them and stuff like that. Oh, here it is. Cross-functionally. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for either. Like, I don't want to just troubleshooting them. I want you to explain it. You need to explain what this is. Why do I care that 2,000 daily market cap indices were checked for duplication, right? I need you to remember your audience is not somebody that has your degree. You have a master's in artificial intelligence and a bachelor's in computer science. You are probably going to be dealing with people that may or may not have a bachelor's. So, and it's not in STEM. You have overdone this to a degree, and it's not the worst, right? I want to be clear. There are definitely way worse resumes than this, but you really, really, really need to simplify this. And you need to make sure it shows the industry a little bit clearer, like a little bit more about the industry. I need technical concepts and how you solved the problem with data, and that you've managed multiple projects and deadlines, because I don't see that. Those are important, and almost everybody in STEM kind of leaves them off, which is not good. Like, that's way more important than enabling faster decision making by 35%. What is that? So that's all I can do. This person is in chat, so I can talk more with them. But for everybody else, we're going to the next resume. This is a resume of I don't know. This person said anything in finance, audit, or compliance. I can't do that. The qualifications for jobs within those are going to be dramatically different. When you submit your resume to me, please be very specific. I cannot help you if you are vague. If you say anything in X, well, I can't really help you. Resumes are highly specific to the role. Also, this formatting is a nightmare. Please never, ever use 2 columns. I don't think I've ever seen a resume be better because of 2 columns. Second, you need to delete this. I do understand this person did state, I would appreciate if the job could come from overseas, and they are not in the U.S., but at least in the U.S., please do not put your marital status. We do not need to know that. And if they ask you too many questions about that, that is actually potentially a lawsuit, although I'm not a lawyer. I just know not what to do in hiring. Do not want to break any of the hiring laws. This I don't need either. So, yeah, just stop with this formatting. Again, this is a nightmare to read. I can't even read it. So we're going to go to the next resume. Just please never, ever, ever do two columns. Use this. This is the best. I swear to you. Next resume. This is a software engineer intern in, I don't know, but that's fine. Intern positions always really are asking for the same things. You can even like switch this with other internships outside of tech as well. Is they're only going to ask for your degree. They're going to have a basic knowledge of what you are doing. So again, this really does depend on what you do. Oh, Canadian. I see Canada. So, like, if you're a mechanical engineer, it's going to be like CAD and mechanical stuff. If you're a software engineer, it's going to be language library, SQL Cloud. Whatever the very, very, very basic, like, 101 stuff is, they're going to ask. They also want to know how you can work well with others and take direction and criticism, as this may be your first job, and they do not want to take a risk on an intern, and then all of a sudden they freak out. So, can I find this stuff in 20 seconds? Let's find out. This formatting, it does not work. Developed, okay, full stack using Python and Postgre with Redis. Okay, kind of okay. AWS is fine. Git, it's all tech. There's like, okay. It's not... Yeah, this would not move forward. Oh, wait. Wow. That actually, Walmart kind of saved you. Would I meet this or would I eat this? This might actually get a meet specifically if I could get to this. I don't know if most recruiters would. But let's see what you stated to me. I'm very new to applying to serious jobs like this. I have a little experience in basic jobs like retail. Now I really want to go into software engineering. Thank you for what you do, and your videos are very helpful. Good, I'm glad to help. So, you don't need, unless this is a Canadian-specific thing, you don't need to put your high school because you already are in progress at your bachelor's and you're looking for an internship. This should be one line, should not be bolded. Nothing here should be bolded. I want to be clear. Nothing here should be bolded. You need to delete this stuff, okay? If you want to keep this, you can just keep it in your GitHub, right? Little section that has your projects, that's okay. That nobody's really going to click on this over here. So this part is basically fine. You have the gist of what I want. Python, you have SQL, you have AWS, you have Git, you have APIs. That's perfect. The problem is I did not see the ability to work well with others and takes direction and criticism until all the way down here, which I don't think anybody else could see. So you need to sort of shrink this stuff a little bit because your experience at Walmart is actually relevant to your experience as a software engineer. The fact that you worked with team members to maintain store operations and inventory management, whatever, but adapting to feedback and changing priorities in a fast-paced retail environment is what they'd be looking for. That's actually something that is very accurate to what they'd be looking for. You can deal with customers that are upset. You are able to multitask. That is actually a really fantastic sentence. So is the second one's a little broad, where you say demonstrated reliability and problem solving skills while handling customer inquiries and resolving issues independently as part of the team. Kind of broad. I would have preferred you just said like handled customer inquiries and resolved issues independently and as part of a team. And the final one, which is managed multiple concurrent tasks during peak hours while maintaining accuracy and meeting deadlines under pressure. Also fantastic. The problem is I don't know if anybody's going to scroll all the way down to get it. But yeah, that's actually really good. I really like it. If anything, I think you should really just keep the first and third bullet point of the Walmart one and put it up top. Probably should put that up top. That way they know, because it is related to the job you're applying to. If you were looking for full-time roles, no, you would not put Walmart up at the top. But because specifically you're going for internships, and as you have been at Walmart for almost 2 years, that shows that you can handle this while going to school. That actually has most of what they want. You just need only the first and the third bullet point of it because the second one isn't relevant. And then you can go into your projects where you need to delete this section. Not this, where you need to delete. No, I can't click it. This is really hard for me to click right. Delete this and then just keep this stuff. And that'll actually probably get you an internship pretty easily. You still have to apply early, but otherwise, yeah. So how you wrote that is pretty good. That's like gold standard. I really like it. I'm really upset that nobody else can actually see it on the screen because let me see if I can scroll down a little bit. There we go. This is the best I can do. But yeah, your first and third bullet point are fantastic for an internship. That Walmart should be under your education. You should remove the high school. You should move this to one line, not bolded, and then fix up the formatting. You should have a much better chance. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of I have no idea. Please don't do this when you submit. You need to tell me specifically. This person said software developer / backend developer. I don't know what I'm looking for in that. I'm sorry. Like I have to look up these qualifications before every time I review it. I cannot. There's not like just this is what a software engineer is. Cool. Well, there are like 80 different types of software engineers, and each one values something differently. So I was applying for jobs for a while, but getting rejected very heavily on the CV shortlisting rounds. It's not what we call it, but I think I understand what you're talking about. Not even getting a chance. I am from India looking for back-end developer roles. Are you looking for developer roles outside of your country? Because that's why you're not going to get an interview. You still need to be in the country where you are applying. Again, I cannot speak to the EU, although from the comments I've read, I think it's the same as the US. But there is a reason every job asks, are you legally authorized to work in this country? Will you now or in the future require sponsorship? Is because if you say no to the first question, you are not going to be able to move forward. Before every hire, they do a check to see if you actually are legally authorized to work in the country. For most people, that is going to be the equivalent of an I-9, but some people on visas may need different stuff. And if you cannot pass that, which if you do not have work authorization, you will not be moved forward. Does not matter how good your resume is. Does not matter. There is unfortunately just not a lot anybody can do on that one, because that is illegal and they cannot legally pay you. And if they cannot legally pay you, that is a lawsuit and they will not bring you on. Probably a lot of other reasons, but I'm not a lawyer. So that's one of the reasons you're probably having an issue. The other is I don't know what you are. Developed. That's why I'm not doing the 20 seconds. Is I don't know what you are. You're probably, let's see if I can find it, right? Let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. Maybe I can find out who you are in 20 seconds. So, TypeScript and Node, okay, RESTful APIs, that's good. Nothing. Azure, solid. React and TypeScript, again, that's solid, but this is full stack, you said backend. Projects, yeah, I have no idea what you are. I could not move this forward. You need to be very specific. So, as an example, I think I already did a full stack, but for a Python developer, right, in the US, what I would be looking for is this. And that is different than Java, even though Java is on there. That's also different than Ruby on Rails, which is different than Java, which is, I already said Java, which is different than C++ or C#. So I don't know what you are at all, and that's partly why. And I wish I could help you more, but I cannot. I cannot help you if you do not tell me specifically. I cannot just say, like, what job should I get? I don't know. That's not what I can do, unfortunately. So that's all I can do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm here to get you ahead of your job search. Join me on Twitch, twitch.tv/@headlessheadhunter every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. and rarely Saturdays. Goodbye.